James, two James in the panel, so I'll probably mention the surname so we know who is talking to. So before that, a bit of welcome, right, introduction, right, a bit. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Inche Muhammad Zain Hassan, right? I think we had a quick chat later on. I think for those in the crowd, I think probably a familiar face in this industry, right? I think more than 20 years of experience, right, in this industry. Again, a bit of background. He started his career in many multinationals, right, including HP, Machine Naga, Accenture, Konica Minolta, and at once he was the general manager for service delivery at Ricoh Asia Pacific, right? So in his current role, he actually just joined YTL, right? I found out, I think, this year, right? As the head of IT infrastructure, right? I think his forte is, he is familiar with helping organizations migrate, right? A lot of the infrastructure from on-premise to the cloud. So again, he's your expert. If you have any migration issues or you want to understand the whole journey or of going to the cloud, right? Welcome to the panel, Zain Hassan.
Thank you.
Right. So next we have, I think no stranger, right? I think this morning he presented also, Mr. James Tang. He's a group CIO from UCSI. Right, so again, I watched his presentation, a pretty interesting journey. So in fact, I was supposed to register in Sedaya College, right? Pretty good program, I think American program especially, right? From way back in Subang, a very small campus, right? As of today, pretty impressive growth. Now campus all over Malaysia and #1 private university in Malaysia, research recently. So again, James, again, as mentioned earlier, right? He has 26 years experience corporate, working in software development, IT, leading digital transformation, right? In many multinationals, right? I think he shared a lot on a lot of applications. I think we're gonna dwell more into those applications in detail. Especially, I'm interested in the IoT ones, right? What is he doing for IoT ones? And prior to joining USI. He have done a lot of things, right? Both not only in Asia Pacific, but in China and Europe also, right? So welcome to the panel, James. Right. So maybe for the start, I will set the tone. I think this is the second day. I think a lot of these things that we have covered is pretty relevant on this topic. Just a side note, right? I think I was watching MDE's presentation right, on day one. The size of the digital economy, right, in Malaysia, maybe last year or now, is about 83.6 billion, right? Which is 23% of 2021 GDP at a growth rate of 12%, right? I think recently, I think last year, right, there's an initiative called Malaysia Digital, right? So for those who are not aware, we used to have MSC status, right? So now no more. So now we have MD status, right? Which is set of, in fact, it's even easier to get MD status. And then I think MD is promoting that. So as part of the Malaysia Digital Initiatives, digital economy is a very big part of it. It is to drive digital economy. And the target for Malaysia Digital is to increase to 25.5% of the GDP, which is an aggressive target, but I think we are getting there pretty quickly, right? And then also the other things like to create 500,000 jobs by 2025 and to acquire about 75 billion of investments, right, in digital economy. So these are actually pretty aggressive targets. I think it's also very good targets for the for Malaysia itself, right? So I think maybe we just jump into the first questions, right? Basically, is we are trying to accelerate the nation's digital economy with the advancement of cloud infrastructure, AI, IoT, and 5G. So in your experience, in your organization, how are you achieving that? Are you achieving that? What's the journey, or how you plan to achieve that? Maybe James Tang, you can try to address that question, but maybe a bit more about yourself that we don't know, or I didn't cover first.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Tan. Basically, I'm the Group CIO of UCSI Groups. Basically, that to start off, what the question to address that the questions Mr. James Senior asked. So basically, that we have, like I've mentioned before, we have a lot of huge data. So AI, is all from formation of the AI actually is from the amount of data. So the more data you have, the more accurate. And with the recent emerging of ChatGPT, so a lot of people asking me how actually higher institutions deal with it. So I would say we will not reject them, but we harmonize them and we educate the student and we actually utilize the benefit of ChatGPT. We are not actually rejecting the technology. We co-live with all the technology. So in industrial, like for example, IoTs will be, and I think everyone is talking about IR 4.0. But how you understand what is IR 4.0? Like for example, that few MMC I've been, you'll be surprising that I'm joining that, for example, that the IR 4.0 basically in early stage, when I was in Mercedes-Benz, they already started in the sense of, the factory automation, they call it lean management, JITs, they already all is being incorporated. So means that this is all the robotics is being assembled, the glass of the things. Some of the things, of course, that you still need humans. For example, pushing the engine to the right position. Some of the, handmade cushion. All this you still need human because machine cannot do the fine touching. So a lot of people asking, will the IR 4.0 revolution or with all the automation, will it replacing human job? Definitely, I will tell you now, no. Because those very, very findings, what they call the handcraft work, automations or robotic, it will not replace humans. So basically that, and also utilizing the data is more on decision making. So all this data, for example, the demographic of the data student population, male, female, where they come from, what is the graduation score, and basically that all this, if we can put it up for visualization, then basically it will be useful for the senior leadership to make decision by you seeing the visual. As people always say, picture is more than 1,000 words.
Okay.
Yep.
I agree with you. I think picture paints 1,000 words. So it's good to visualize all that massive amount of data, right? Easily, right? To make executive decisions. What about on your industry in JC?
Right. First of all, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. To start with, just to be fair, I'm pretty new in YTL Cement, just about 2 months old. But even though I'm new, but I can talk about how we have actually, how we try to move IT and position the IT not as just a cost center, but as a value creator for the business. Just to give one of the examples, right? When we were building the second tallest building in the world, yeah, right. YTL Cement being the largest cement manufacturer, concrete manufacturer in our country, right? So we have a responsibility to make sure that we can support the development. Yeah. So there's a requirement that we have to continuously pouring the concrete for 7 days to make sure that we build the foundations. So this is where IT play a crucial role, where we have to first understand the demand and then make sure that we have enough supply to produce enough concrete for us to be able to do that. Number two, we have to collect enough data to understand how much it takes for each of the lorry to go and pour the concrete, and how much that we actually need, the continuous supply that we have to give, and to make sure that we don't create any additional issues, because we have to maintain the quality of the concrete, and we have to also make sure that we don't create other issues like massive traffic jams in in the entire KL, just because what the Cements lorry are occupying the whole road to make sure that we can deliver those goods, right? So this is where we have we analyze our data carefully, with the use of AI, with the use of our in-house developed tools. We curate the data carefully and make sure that we have enough information for us to do an on-time delivery, on-time supply to our customers. So this is just one of it. So I was being asked to join Watial Cement because Watial Cement is seriously would like to transform the entire organizations. We have been in the past de facto cement manufacturer, very traditional, but we want to unlock the potential of using data to create insights, to create, so that we can enhance our business. We also would like to do a lot of modernization in terms of how we deal with our businesses, our new business that we have not tapped into, and we also have some problems in the past with a lot of acquisition that we have done, but we have not really make standardization across our platform. We have many systems in the past, so we are now going through a journey. One of the biggest tasks that I have been asked since I joined is to look at how we can re-platform our current infrastructures, being very ahead of IT infrastructure. So we are looking at moving away from our traditional data centers to move to cloud, and we are going to start migrating our most critical workloads, which is our ERP systems, to cloud starting from August this year. So that's some of the interesting things that we are doing. Another thing is just to share as well, with the technologies, like if you have visited Keto Networks, where they have very good solutions, which we have already embarked. We have situations where many of our batching plants, which is used to to make concretes, we have a very quick timeline when we have to set up a plant or when we have to dismantle a plant. So we need a solution where we can quickly plug and play our networks. So Keto Network, for example, give us a very good solutions where we can easily deploy, and connects to our VPNs in a matter of seconds. And whenever we needed to disassemble the plants and move it somewhere else, we can quickly do that in a matter of hours. So those are the things that how we try to help positioning or empowering our business towards being a digital economy from manufacturing perspective.
Okay. So I guess for both of you, you guys are already collecting data, a lot of data. That's why you need the infrastructure. Can you, James, can you maybe talk about how, okay, right now you already answered a bit, right? Which you already have the data show on the dashboard, right? Can you maybe talk about one or two use case study on how you use those data, right? After being displayed on a dashboard.
Okay, I will not use because we actually venture in many things. We also work with corporate, also in farming, firm like FGV, and then we work with all the RGE, those from Indonesia, the large groups basically that for IR4 IoT we using in farming. They are, I think, Indonesian right now. They are more advanced than us. You know that they can send it out the drone, go to the palm oil farm. They have few hundred acre of that. It's impossible. You send human go and scout. So what they think, they're sending the drone, they coverage 15 kilometers radius. So they're sending out the drones, transmit the data back, where they map with the GPS with a geolocation, and they take the snapshot of the top view, the sky view, we call it bird eye view, of all the landscape, the plantation, and they're scanning which spot having a yellow leaf.
Okay.
So they will send and mark the things and record down the GPS location, and they send back to the data. So on the plantation itself, the plantation manager have the view, dashboard view that this is how this location, I need to send people directly to there to investigate what is the root cause of the palm oil actually dying there. And they have all the small IoT devices that actually implant into the ground that to detect when actually water is not sufficient, where is the nutrition or the fertilizer is not enough. And all these things actually is with the help of the IoT device actually connected. All the data is constantly sending back. And also that for those IoT remotely connected, of course that is impossible. Actually, you put all the fiber ring all around the plantation is impossible. So what they do, basically that is a Bluetooth things. They will have the I call it UAV this UAV. They're going through the plantation by the path. They actually prearranged path that communicate with all the Bluetooth and collect the data back. This is how actually IR4 been applied in what they call it implantation, and basically all the data sends back, make use of the data and present visualization for the action to do the action and also the decision making. Yep.
Okay. So great use case of the data. What about your side, NGC?
Right. I would like to share one of the use case in my previous organizations, especially when I was general manager for Rico Asia Pacific. I was in charge of the service delivery operations for the entire regions. So one of the things that we collected is the performance of each of the machines that we have. I mean, with Rico, basically, predominantly we are in the printer business back then, right? So we analyze all the failures that we have, and based on that, we come out with a predictive analysis to see the lifespan for each of the hardware, and what are the most commonly parts that are failing. And based on that, then we make sure that we prepare our stock, we prepare our parts, to get it ready, right? So that is also something that we use to then look at the print count. One of our business model where we are charging the customers based on the amount of, how many that they actually print, right? So we have that measure. During pandemic, so most of the companies, they don't work in office anymore, so the print count get less. And after pandemics, we still have a lot of machines which are still sitting there under contract, but being underutilized. So based on the data that we collected, the volumes of print count that has happened, and we look at also the predictive, the failure predictive analysis that give us indications of what hardware that suitable for customers to use. And then we did a program to change or replace some of lower end models or right size model for the customers that reduce the cost for them, which at the same time also benefit us, because when we give them a suitable model, the model that really suits them, it basically get them to print more, right? So there's many other use cases as well in terms of our support center as well. So I built a support center in KL to overseeing our operations for the entire Asia Pacific. We use data in terms of types of issues that customers are facing, and from there, then we build automatic resolutions, articles as well as solutions, and we integrate that with our bots, which help customers to reduce the times to resolve, because now they can do a self troubleshootings. Also, they can chat with our bot, which it will then give them all the relevant KB articles, all the relevant videos on how they can do a self service or self repair. So that's one of the ways, right? And in YTL, as I said, one of the examples that I shared just now is how we make use of our data in terms of how how much order that we have, and the volume of that order, and the locations from, and then we have our intelligence, the backend that then will automatically provide us a suggestion of which cement plants that we have to supply from, and which trucks that we have to get it ready to to deliver the cements or concrete. So that's how we use that. So with our journey migrating to the cloud, so we also would like to unlock more in terms of our data potentials, because we have many businesses between cements. Nowadays we have at least 8 silos businesses, which every of these businesses has its own systems. We have a challenges to integrate and build our own data lake because of limited capacities, limited headrooms, and whatnot. So our journey will start from now onwards, where with the migration to the clouds, we also will going to change the way that we look at our data more holistically. It's not just based on one verticals of business that we have. So we're going to look at our customers, regardless of if they want buy cements from us, or they buy aggregates from us, or they buy concrete from us. It's going to be one single platform where we will, get the right insights and get the customer, buying behavior, and for us to be able to also then create some rewards program and loyalty program for our customers. So this is the journey we're going through right now. We are embarking to a 2 years program where at the end of the day that we're looking at having an integrated solutions. Probably I can also learn from UCSI, from James, in the how you have successfully ingest all of your data from all of the sensors that you have that help you, right? So I'm looking to have even connect with some of you here who are also in the similar industry, that we can share our ideas, share our thoughts.
Okay, great. You got anything to add? Yes.
I think technology is emerging every day. So IoT, robotic will be converged together. So one of the things expect is, the QC checking, where you have the high-speed camera looking on the things, where you have robotic arm, automatic reject, all those things.
Okay.
This has been happening in today's. So, and also the collecting data will be, for one example, our student, when check into the attendant classroom, they just scan the dynamic QR code on the things with the geolocation on the phone. Okay. Then you can, we experience, students from China, they try to check in. Okay. But we say you are not within our campus geolocation. We are not consider you as attend. Okay. So things like that. It's been IoT's what they call technologies. Yeah. Actually is changing. How actually we need to make wholly with the technology. So I would call it humanizing technologies. That one day that actually both of us also say we need to upgrade ourselves to this type of the new how to say youngster now is called about gig economy. Yes.
So I'm glad I'm not a student now. It looks to be quite stressful. All right. I can't ponting. The lecturer will know where am I. Okay. Do we have questions for? Do we have time for questions from the audience? Shall we take a question from the audience? Anyone? I think we have the mic set up right behind. You can introduce yourself, where you're from, and then you can ask your questions to any of the panelists. Anyone? Any questions? Okay, so I have no question. Maybe I have another questions. I think in the discussion just now, and also the trend, I see that most of the listed companies in Bursa, all right, they have a financial report, whatever. There's one section on ESG or SDG, right? Maybe in Zain, you want to? I guess YTL has that also, right? Oh, yo.
Yeah, so we even have a company within YTL Cement that focus on the ESG itself. So from IT perspective, let me just share what I'm working on right now. So we are in the midst of refactoring our primary applications. We call it as our super apps that connects to all of our businesses. So in the past, we have monolith application architecture. So going forward, we are replacing it. We are now developing based on the microservice architecture. What it means in terms of sustainability, right? Because we are a big believer in sustainability. By us moving away from monolith, going forward, we no longer need big computing powers anymore. So all of our applications will be running on containers, which requires less compute power. Most of the applications will be hosted on the cloud, that we will maintain a very small footprint on our edge, which can even run on a very small footprint of servers, or even small machines, even you can run on. Like what I was saying with James, this afternoon, right? Just a thought-provoking questions. Even a simple Raspberry Pi, you can, load with Ubuntu. You can run, container on it. You can run our applications that we can put on the edge to that extent. So by that, we have a target to exit our data center. And move majority of our workloads in the cloud, which will then reduce our consumptions on power, and also we then save in terms of the carbon footprint. So we're looking at this massively. Developments are being done. On the other hand as well, so we already launched our local platform. We are making use of ServiceNow as our ITSM, ITOM, as well as we use App Engine in ServiceNow, where we build facilities related applications, like if any employees would like to get any services from IT, so they need to purchase a new equipment or whatnot. There's no more paper to be used. So we use everything on our local platforms, where we have forms created with all the approvals flows built in. And that's something that we are doing in terms of ESG.
What about your side, James? I think you have covered a few applications on ESG. Yeah.
Actually, for the ESG, I think is the most first thing is more very important. Actually, is how we educate our next generation about how actually to take the SDG, to love our Mother Earth. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing actually is to automate all the processes. There's no more papers. Everything is digital, including that we like in our campus, because we are builders. Okay, my boss always say we are builders. So we build our license plate recognitions. So we remove the parking ticket. Okay, this is one of the initiative, and we build our the cashless payment. So the UCSI Pay e-wallet, basically that we reduce usage of the cash notes. Okay, this is part of the initiative, and basically that we use the IoT device, like for example sensors, solar panels, to power up our street light. And in our pipeline, basically, like I was saying before, that we try actually to use the rooftop, the solar panels, basically to supply 30% of our on-premises data center for the cooling system. Okay, and also the hotel side will be complements partials of the the heaters, water heaters, and also the cooling system in the hotel. So this is part of the initiative, and also of course we have the initiative like, working with the Selangor Forestry, that one student, one tree projects. So it means that those graduates, they can plant a tree in Sungai Besi Reserve Forest, where they can put their name planted at what time, the student name. So this is actually to encourage, the SDG on actually to love back our Mother Earth.
Yeah, I think all these initiatives are timely. I think the government also, with the signing of COP, right, with a reduction goal, right, government aggressively on ESG, and I think we need to do all these practices, implement it now, right? We're really seeing the effects of global warming. I think this year it's record temperatures are all across Southeast Asia. I think now it's very hot outside, luckily in an air-conditioned room. But we also shouldn't waste, the resources and stuff like that. I think we are nearing the end of the session. Do we have questions? Any more questions? Right. Let's do a quick 1 or 2 minute wrap up. Let's start with you, Zain. I mean, wrap up on this session on accelerating digital economy. Just a summary. Right?
I think just a summary that as I said before, we are embarking to a journey. I might not have a lot of success stories to tell. Maybe we'll come again 1 year from now, then obviously there's a lot more success I can tell. It is a journey that requires not only changes in terms of how we operate our IT, but it's a mindset changes as well throughout the companies that we are going through. So it's an interesting time to be, actually for me, coming from MNC's background with a lot of transformation that I have done throughout my career, being in this totally different industry is something that really excites me. I'm just looking forward to connect with industry players like all of you. We can always share ideas, stories on how others has been implementing social. Even if you don't have anything and you would like to also get some insights, we can always share. And these are the perfect forums that we can share ideas and start connecting.
Okay. Any last words, James? Yeah.
I think my last words is quite simple. I think we, in technology era now, we don't need to afraid about the technology. We don't need to afraid about the ChatGPT will replace our jobs. Okay, it won't happen. Okay, basically that is to upskill yourself. Live with all the technology. There is plenty of the upskilling now with the very very common round is we call it open distance learning, where you can go to our university or other university. They have a short-term courses. Right now, you can do your MBA in just 2 years by online. There's no exam, no need to worry about exam, no exam. It's based on the research and also the coursework. So all is to upskills, basically that, and also to learn things and to apply it into your workspace. Today is all about cost saving. Today is all about energy saving. All this initiative, and then basically that, and also how actually we contribute back to the society, also to our environments. This is all my last word actually to wrap up this Fireside chat session. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, James. Again, my honor to moderate you guys, and then happy to be this panel. I think we'll still be around, right, in the next half an hour. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. So back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. James.
Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life can do it all by yourself.
Informative session earlier as well.